one fire, particular fire that stood out in my mind was in 1994 in Colorado, the South Canyon fire. We were there working the fire. Obviously, we all know what happened, and we were assigned a job to assist the recovery team in accounting for the equipment and before the actual investigation team went in and did their thing. That one sticks to me to this day. I read all the information. We were up and down that line multiple times on the event. Just looking back on over the course of my years, that one probably the time spent on the South Canyon fire was probably the most disturbing to me based on the investigation reports and what happened. And I put myself in that situation. If I was the foreman, the soup, what would I have done? What tactic strategies would I have done? I wasn't there during the event, but looking back, and every year as we move into the 2014 fire season, I pass on the information that I know from that fire, because it's important that the young firefighters know what happened, what went wrong, what could have been done different. A lot of different things happened, but I think every fire season I think of that fire. This year's the 20th anniversary of South Canyon fire, and I remember cutting a lot of line on that fire and being there, and that's probably a fire that I'll never forget, just based on what we did there. During the South Canyon fire, I was on Horseshoe Meadow Hot Shots, and we were on a fire down on the sand, I think by Lake Arrowhead, the San Bernardino National Forest, and the Devil Fire is what it was called, and that thing was ripping. Good fire. It was up by Arrowhead, I think, Lake Arrowhead, and then fire was going, and our soup gets a call on the radio. Hey, at the end of shift, you need to report to demob. And we're all thinking, the fire's not out. What's going on? But we weren't the only crew that were told report to demob. So all the soup, I was a foreman, so I wasn't privileged to all the information, but none of the soups knew what was going on. So in the shift, came into camp, and they said, you guys are all going to the South Canyon fire. Horseshoe, Fulton, LP, Stanislaus, I can't remember the other, but we all loaded up on the Boise jet, and they briefed us, you guys are going into South Canyon fire. It was the day after the event. So then when we got to the fire, we were briefed, and they wanted some crews to go in there and assist with the recovery, so which we did. But at that point in time, there was still a lot of work to be done on the fire. The event happened. There was a lot of line to cut. We cut a hell of a lot of line, for the next 4 to 5 days. And it was interesting to see, the local wind conditions. You could see what happened from where we were at, up and down, spot 1 and 2 and such. So you could really see what happened. The winds were doing about the same thing. Thundercells were still in the area, so that was continuous. But all I remember is cut a lot of line through Gamble Oak, and looking at this is Gamble Oak. It's everything that the report said. It's green. It's very, very, very. It's not. You don't think it would burn as we're cutting through it, and it was tall Gamble, thick oak, but real rocky. A lot, I had the pig tool that day, so just working all day with the pig tool, came out of there. My hands were vibrating at the end of the shift, and, so be it though.